Hey, hi, welcome back. Nice to see you. Come on in. It's nice and sunny here today. It's very nice. My name is Audrey. This is my YouTube channel. Thanks for checking out today's video. We're going to talk about a little bit of crime happening and spirit mixed in there. I am a psychic medium. I'm a real, actual, live psychic medium. So if you're not aware of that when you clicked on this video, just be aware, okay? It is what it is. You'll have to watch to find out exactly what it's like, I guess. But come on in. So yesterday I tried for well over an hour to film, and I was so frustrated. The camera just kept turning itself off. Like every 5 minutes, 551, 550, 551, 555. And so I'm like, okay, what are the numbers representing here? Are the numbers trying to tell me something? Is spirit trying to tell me something to not talk about what I was going to talk about? I don't know. I didn't get any clear direction or instructions from spirit. So I feel like everything's free game at this point. I can go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about. And if you did watch the last video, you would have seen that orb. It was about right here. It comes down. Now, I did have a saging stick. It was over here, though. It was on the other side of the table at that point. I didn't pick it up and light it again until that orb came in. So it wasn't the smoke from the smudging stick. And I'm not afraid of spirit, but it's like, and I talk about this in my book. It's dealing with spirits like living in California and dealing with earthquakes. You just never know when they're going to happen. I mean, I'm terrified of earthquakes, don't get me wrong, but it's a similar anxiety because I never expect spirit to come in. There's times I'm kind of hoping they come in, but when weird things start happening, and then I see this major large orb come through, it's like, it kind of makes it real for me, because honestly, a lot of times it doesn't even feel real because I'm dealing with invisible beings here. So, when you start actually seeing evidence of such, it just trips me out a little bit. But no, I'm not scared. And if I ever feel the slightest teensy-weensy, insy-bitsy feeling of negativity, I shut it down. I shut down the whole thing. Whatever it is, it's shut down. Whether it's a video or like working on my book or doing a reading for you, whatever the situation, if I feel even the least bit of negative spirit, then it's shut down. And I've learned how to do that. It's just something you do in your mind, mentally, telepathically, dealing with these other spirits, because they do try and sneak in here and there. I had one try and sneak in when I was talking to someone who passed. Okay, sorry, that was my son's school that called, so I had to take that call. So as I was saying, yeah, I talk about this in my book where I was, I'm talking to someone who I loved and cared about from my childhood, and then all of a sudden, I get this horrible entity coming in, and he kind of sounds like my teacher who passed, but it's like, I know that's not him. There's no way that's my second father, my father replacement. And so you just got to shut it down. So anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Let's go ahead and get some business out of the way. So go ahead and click that like button. It really helps the channel to grow. And the longer you watch me and understand me, you know that I'm here for only good reasons. I'm here to help heal you, love you, direct you, and help you get through this life. Also, subscribing really helps as well. And then don't forget to share the video. It's so easy. I share videos from YouTube all the time. I send them to my sister or my husband, friends. It's really easy to do. So check out how to do that. It's really easy. And I know once you start sharing videos, you're going to go nuts and just keep sharing everything with everybody from everything you watch, because it's really fun. All right. So yesterday I was talking about the Idaho 4. So I think we're all pretty much familiar with this case. It's the 4 students in Idaho who were allegedly murdered by BRYAN KOHBERGER, who I call Hamburger, and then his father I call Hamburger Senior, and then the mother I call Mother Hamburger, or Mommy Hamburger, whatever. Now, when I'm talking to you and I'm telling you what Spirit's telling me, or showing me, I have to say that this is for entertainment purposes only, and that nothing I say is factual, and these are just my opinions. With that being said, everything I tell you from Spirit to you is 100% I agree with, and I know it's true. I never get any confusion from Spirit. Spirit's very specific. Spirit's always correct. So just keep that in mind as you're watching the video. If there's something like this document I have the Exhibit A document from this case, that obviously is factual because that comes from the police department and it's been filed with the county. Okay, so we know from the news and public record that probably there was one knife, right? Because, excuse me, I'm drinking. Because there was a knife sheath, the little case that a knife goes into, that was left behind at the scene, and it's leather, and it said USMC, sorry, United States Marine Corps. So I just found that out a couple days ago. I didn't know that the sheath had any writing on it or anything, because what Spirit's been showing me, this is important. This is where my abilities really come into play and possibly assist in a prosecution. I am telling you, there's a second knife. No one has ever said that. Law enforcement's not saying that. But I'm telling you, Spirit's showing me a second knife. This knife appears to be smaller than the other knife. This knife looks to be like it folds up. And again, I know I keep describing it. I want to say the handle's about that big, and then the knife would be about that big as well. So I'm going to say 6 inches. I don't have a ruler in here, but I'm going to say around 6 inches, and it's a fold-out knife. Is that a switchblade? I don't know, whatever it's called. And then the handle looks to be brown. Maybe it's dark blue, maybe it's black, but this is where my interpretation comes in, and I have to judge for myself, what do I think I am looking at from Spirit? I think I'm looking at a brown handle with some flecks on it. Kind of not tortoiseshell style, but brown. And I don't know if this is a resin handle or if it's a stone. I can't tell the difference. I can't get that close. The knife, let me turn sideways a little bit. The knife, that's my ugly side. Okay, this way. The knife is like, I'm right here. The knife is like right here out of my reach. So maybe a little further than that. Maybe arm's length. So I'm looking at this knife from basically arm's length. I'm 55 years old. I can't see without my glasses, and Spirit's not showing me as if I have on my glasses. So why is the second knife important? Because we need more evidence against this guy. They arrested him, I believe, on probable cause. We know he's been in the neighborhood of where the kids lived, 12 to 15 times. And I'm telling you, and I haven't heard this, but Spirit tells me, there's an older gentleman that lives in the neighborhood who's seen Hamburger so many times driving through in his white Hyundai sedan. He thought Hamburger lived in the neighborhood. That's how many times Bryan Hamburger has been stalking these students. Bryan Hamburger was a teacher's aide at the college, and yeah, he's disturbing to look at. He's one of those kind of people, and I'm not trying to be judgy, but if historically we look back at shooters and serial killers, they do tend to have a specific look. They just do, okay? No one else wants to say it. I'm going to say it. There's just a look. There just is. What does that mean? I don't know. Is that just my personal opinion? Yeah. That's my human opinion. That's not my spirit opinion. Now, we need more evidence. What could possibly be on that knife at this point? Well, what people don't always realize is it's really hard to get DNA off an item. You can bleach it, you can do this, you can do that. It doesn't always take everything off. Maybe if you take apart the knife, maybe there's some DNA of one of the victims in there. That would be probably a slam dunk. We all want justice for the victims. But I am not a policeman. I do not work for the city or state or government at all, and that's not my job. But my job is to throw out some information. You, rest of you, whoever do this job, that's for you to do. I'm not an investigator. So I also see that this second knife has been deposited somewhere between Idaho and Pennsylvania. I've been saying this video after video after video. I have been shown Hamburger Sr. has assisted a criminal during his time with his son. So what am I saying? Spirit saying that Hamburger Sr. knew about the murders from the time they happened. Mr. and Mrs. Hamburger were worried that Bryan Hamburger was going to do something. They knew there's something wrong with him for a long time. They're kind of afraid of him. That's why they didn't choose to do anything. Yeah, I mean, we know these kind of people end up killing the parents too, or whoever. They'll kill whoever they want. But new information showed me yesterday that Hamburger's a want-to-be. He wanted to be a serial killer. He wanted to be a famous, mysterious serial killer. Because he was mentally weak. To no fault of his own. That's the way he was born. But it doesn't mean you get to run around and kill people and live out your fantasy. And speaking of fantasy, Spirit shows me this was a fantasy for him. He was trying to live out his fantasy by these murders. And what I said yesterday that you guys didn't hear is check. Okay, this is to the FBI, CIA. I don't care. I don't care what law enforcement can do this. Look at his Netflix. I think the Netflix is under daddy's name or mom's name. Seize that account. Get whatever order you need to check into their history of that account. I am telling you right now. I am telling you. There's a lot of, okay. So if law enforcement can get into the Netflix account, which they can, look at all the videos he's watched. Look at the videos he had pending that he wanted to watch. Now, start watching those movies. That's going to give you more clues as to this guy's mind, that it was premeditated murder, that we know. And it might help solve the case because you might find clues within the movies that will correlate with Bryan Hamburger's movements. I'm telling you, I don't just think of this stuff myself. I would have never thought about that. Spirit told me. And I don't know why Spirit didn't tell me this a while ago, but that's just how Spirit works. It's on their timeline. Just like yesterday, they didn't want me to film, so they shut my phone off 6 times in total. So, it's important to look in all avenues to gather information. You have to be unconventional. And it's hard, you know, we have PhDs who study criminal minds to help solve cases and stuff. Well, honestly, I think I should have a PhD because my information is just as valid as yours. I'm just saying. And not just me, any psychic, any real psychic. It's important to listen. So, I mean, you could blow off what I'm saying and let him get away with it. Is that what we want? We want our kids to continue to be murdered, raped, dismembered? No, 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 no. I'm just stalling for a minute because I want to see if Spirit brings, okay, here comes Spirit. Okay. Now, I feel at this point, I know from Spirit enough about the case that I can go ahead and read documents. Because in my own opinion, my own comfort, I know I've been talking to Spirit. It's not because I've been reading documents or watching videos or anything like that. I need to find out who this ghost is behind me. And you guys have mentioned who you think it is. Did you guys say he was murdered or his house burnt down or something? I gotta find the story because I think this is the man that Hamburger knew or knew of or something. Now this ghost, okay, now see, he's here. He's here now because I'm talking about him. He came in, he's here. This ghost could tell me things, potentially. But Spirit doesn't always feel comfortable right off the bat. They have to get to know me. They have to know that my intent is for good and not for evil. That I'm trying to help. That I'm not trying to glorify a murderer or dramatize any events. I am here for facts. It's just a shame I can't say that my information is a fact. But that's okay. You guys know. You guys who I've done readings with know. You know me. You know how I work. If I'm not sure about something, my mouth will stay shut. Because I would never, ever jeopardize my gift to make it look like I know something that I don't. All right. So, and as I mentioned before, this guy, there's a ghost right here. I feel like he's hanging on me like this. Do you see my shoulder? I feel like he's hanging on behind me like that. Oh God. I think this guy's army. I talked about this guy prior to knowing that the knife sheath said Marine Corps on it, but I think this guy's Army based on the color of his outfit that he's wearing. I guess I could Google what color BDUs that Marines wear. Battle dress uniform for you civilians. I was in the Air Force. So Air Force attire is different than Marine Corps, which is different than Army Corps. And that was the other thing. This guy told me in this ear that the knife was issued. So, meaning it was for work, for military. It was an issued weapon. It was, well, I don't know if I guess they consider that a weapon, but, so this guy's trying to talk, but, he's a little intimidated. He's kind of cowering down a little bit. Not that he's afraid of me, but he's just a little shy. Come on out, sir. It's okay. We're just here trying to solve a murder case. And, you know, when the girls were here, I had Maddie and Kaylee here with me a lot. A couple weeks ago, they were here quite a bit. I don't have them in my presence right now at this very moment. If they come in, I'll let you know. But this guy over here doesn't want to interrupt Spirit over here, or this lady here, this older woman who's, I think her name is Carol. So this guy's like, I'll just wait till they're done. You just do what you want to do, and then I'll talk to you afterwards. But I want to talk to him because I feel like he has a lot of information. And you don't always know. I mean, Spirit knows, but, you know, we just don't know who's going to have what kind of information. You never know. You may think you've covered everything. You may think you've combed through all the evidence. It's just, we're humans. We overlook things. I would like to see Hamburger's father, especially, grilled. I don't mean waterboarded or anything like that. That's severe. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just, something has to be done. We have to get this murderer put away for life, and or the death penalty. Again, I don't take the death penalty lightly. Idaho does have that available as a charge or punishment. And, you know, we have to leave it to the people of Idaho to make their best call on that when the time comes. Otherwise, if we don't get enough evidence, this Hamburger is going to basically get away with it. And I'm looking in him right now. So right now I'm in his brain. He acts weak, but then he's really smart in some ways. Really smart. But then there's this other part he goes to, and it's like he's out of control in his mind. Like he's terrified. And then he goes back over here to this. And then he's a weak little coward again. And then he goes back to being in control and scary. It's like I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know what that is. But it's scary. It's not someone you want to hang around with or frankly even know. You don't want to know somebody like this because they're loose cannons. Anything could happen at any moment. Okay. You can't see my cup, can you? This is a green Starbucks cup. But since I have a green screen in the background, all you're seeing probably is a little bit of this white stuff right there. All right, well, I have some shocking news on the Gabby Petito case. Again, these are not my words. These are words of Spirit. Not factual, my opinions, based on what spirits have told me. Call me nuts, I don't care. I don't feel nuts because I know Spirit's right. God and the universe are for good and not evil. Some people think what I do is evil. Why? How's it evil? I'm helping people. I'm connecting people with their dead loved ones to say goodbye or heal or whatever. And I do that by verifying information that I would have no idea exists. Okay, now Spirit's like, yeah, they're coming into my body. I get a little salty, you guys. I do. I get salty. Now, this Gabby Petito case, another one that gets my blood boiling and makes my high blood pressure raise. Let me see who this is coming in. Give me just a moment because I got Spirit filling me from one side to the other on both sides. Let me just be present for a moment. I think Spirit's just saying that they're ready to talk to me. Okay. I have never channeled Gabby. Maybe this is her coming in, but I don't see her yet. Okay. BRYAN Laundrie. BRYAN's beginning to be a bad name, in my opinion. I'm sorry to all the normal, nice, kind, and loving BRYANs. I'm sorry, but anyway. I'm just going to say, I'm going to start out with a bombshell right here. Spirit shows me, and I've known this since the day that it was announced. Listen to my words. BRYAN Laundrie is not dead. He's not. He is absolutely 100% not dead based on what Spirit has told me, what they have shown me, and they have shown me the dead body there that was allegedly BRYAN Laundrie was not BRYAN Laundrie's dead body. It wasn't. But Audrey, they verified the dental records. Says who? Says who? No. It's not him. Dig him up. Dig up the person, whoever was murdered there. You guys, the world is so complicated. You don't think there's someone that would, sure, give me $20,000. I'll go find a body for you. We'll throw it down. We'll call it a day. I got a friend in the government agency, and they'll sign off on it as a suicide to whatever. I'm not trying to make false accusations. I am telling you what Spirit is showing me. And I take that as Spirit showing me another man gets away with killing another woman. That's what's happened. And as much as I hate to say this, we're never going to find BRYAN Laundrie. He's changed. He's fine. He's out having a good life. I see him on the water. He's out living his life. But what Spirit wants you to know is he's getting away with it. Spirit isn't telling me this so that someone goes and looks for him. No, Spirit says he got away with it, and that's that. Case closed. Case closed. He got away with it. Don't even bother waterboarding the parents. They're getting away with it. Do I think the law enforcement who pulled over Gabby Petito and BRYAN Laundrie fail? Did they fail, Gabby? I'm on the fence with that because in one sense, absolutely they failed Gabby Petito because they should have arrested BRYAN and separated them, not let them get back together. There should have been a temporary restraining order that would give Gabby opportunity to drive the van back home or have it towed or whatever, have her dad fly in and they can drive it together or something. There are laws in place for situations like this. I watched the video on the cops interviewing the kids when they got pulled over. I know about the guy that called to say, hey, I see this guy beating up this girl. I know about all that. And the police knew about that too. They didn't have any evidence that it was Gabby and Bryan who were the people involved. And I remember the one policeman who helped interview the kids when they got pulled over. He's like, you know what? I was in a relationship. I was married to this woman. Things went bad, and I just had to get out. You just have to get out before you do something stupid. Something to that effect is what he was saying to Bryan. So basically, he was telling Bryan, look, dude, this isn't going to work out. You guys have to break up. Just break up. And it's so stereotypical of an abused woman, a young woman in that video. Watching it killed me because I've been that woman. I've been Gabby Petito. I've been beaten up and abused like that. And it just rips me to shreds. I hate that video because it's so hard for me to watch because she is clearly covering Bryan's butt. And it just irks me. It irks me to no end. Because I did the same thing. I'd be in the hospital beat up. It's like, no, don't arrest him. He had a bad day at work or, whatever the situation. You guys. So that's my big bombshell on Bryan Laundrie. I can see him right now. He's alive. He's alive. Spirit shows me. All right, I'm looking at my notes over here. So Lindsay Clancy, that's the case with the mom allegedly killing the 3 kids. Well, we know I don't have anything to say on that case. That's another disgusting case, and it's disgusting further because it was a woman killing her own children. To me, that's the worst crime, honestly. There's really nothing to talk about on that case. I don't think I need to talk about that case at all because we know she did it. We know the kids are dead. We know she has mental health problems. Did the system fail her? What's happening? If I can get my hands on maybe some police documents or something, maybe I'll find something interesting in there, something that's worth sharing from Spirit regarding that case. I'll check it out. But I don't think I'll be talking about that case much on the channel. And I have a couple people talking about the Alec Murdaugh case. Sorry, I keep fiddling. Just get away. My husband's been talking about this case for a long time. And it just honestly doesn't really interest me a whole lot. To me, it's cut and dry. It is interesting, though, because I think we all know he did it. And we're watching him fumble over his own lies. So that's kind of interesting because he's so obviously guilty. Yeah, that one I'm not gonna work on that case. It's just not something I feel a connection to. For whatever reason right now. Could that change? Yes, maybe the wife or son will come in and want to talk to me or tell me something later. Whatever, that's fine. That's totally fine to do. So I guess that's it on the murder stuff. So let me go into YouTube and check out comments because I know there was something. Someone said, why doesn't Spirit give me the name of the killer? Okay, well, let's talk about that for a second. So, well, In most of these cases, we know who the murderer is. We know it was Bryan Laundrie. We know it was Bryan Hamburger. All the other cases, what was that other one in Colorado? I don't even remember. But, I mean, and it doesn't take a psychic to know some of these things. So I haven't had any situations in a few years that was uncertain who the killer is. Not that I remember. But let's say, for example, I'm giving you a reading and you have a loved one that was murdered and you just, it's a mystery. This does happen. I've had readings where this is the case. I'm looking at one case right now. I'm looking at this murder taking place. So, in this particular murder that I see in my head right now, I see a man, I see the car, I see an alleyway, it is dark, I smell food. So Spirit does give me some things to tell you about. Why don't they just say a name? I don't know. I don't know. Why do I have this much of a gift, but not a little more so it can be... Okay, Spirit's like, haha, well, that's God. That's for God to know, basically. I'm not God is basically what I'm being told. I don't need to know everything. Okay, thank you. That's what they're telling me right now. That's what they're telling me. And I'm getting the chills, which means, yes, that's exactly what they're saying. And they're saying, yes, Audrey, that's right. You don't get to know everything. You're not God. Okay, well, obviously, I know I'm not God. I knew that already, Spirit. Jeez. So, and like I've said before, the more times I channel your loved ones, the more readings you have, Spirit will continue to give out information. And like I've told you a few times before, I've been doing a reading for 2.5 years with someone once a month. And she has a couple of loved ones who are very, very chatty all the time, but then they'll disappear for 4 or 5 months and then they'll come back with new information. It's like, why didn't you tell me that last year? That would have been really helpful for my person here, my client. I don't know. I don't understand timing. We know that. We've learned about timing, right? Nothing's on our timing. Everything's on the universe's timing. So I don't know. I mean, really, time's infinite. So there really is no such thing as time. So it's very blurry to me. I don't understand. Maybe it's giving me too much power if I can run around and just give names. I mean, believe me, I've given names before. I remember, and I can't remember your name, but I can picture you right now. You have blonde hair. I think we've done 2 readings, and I told her, I said, who's Rick? She's like, that's the brother that we've been talking about. That's my brother, the one you've been talking to right now. That's him. Yeah. Okay, here comes Spirit. So I do get names. I get names all the time. It's just not to do with murders. It's to do with your loved ones, but not in a murder situation. I wish I could give you everything you want right away. I wish I could. This does feel like a little bit of a superpower, like a superhero. It does. I'm going to be honest with you, because I've always had this thing where it's like, I'm so weird. I'm so odd. But then Spirit's like, yeah, but look at what you do. Look at what you can do. Are these things important? What people think of you as being weird or whatever you say? Because I am trying to do good. That's why I'm here. And if you don't get anything out of this video regarding the murder cases, that's fine. I'm here to tell you, you're gonna see your loved ones again. They're probably with you right now. They're like the animal spirits. They hang out around you. Yes, maybe sometimes you're not gonna feel them. I didn't feel my grandma for 10 years after she died. I don't understand that. I loved her. I wish I could still see her, but you're okay. It's okay. You're gonna see that baby again. There's no hate on the other side. Everything's fine. So you didn't make it to say goodbye to your loved one. Say it now in your head. You can. They can hear you. You don't need me to talk for you. Spirit reads your mind. You don't need to wait for me to do a reading. Do it right now. And the more you do it, the more you're going to feel that connection. Do it while you're driving in the car. Do it while you're in the shower. It doesn't matter. And like I said, I'm going to need that reminder myself from you guys when a loved one of mine passes, because it's painful and I'm going to need you to remind me of that. But it's the truth. So live your life. Please travel. Go to school. Do your artwork. Find your passion. Do it, you guys. Don't stay at home being depressed because your loved one's gone. They want you to live. They don't want you to be angry at their death. And if they were murdered or if there was some mystery around it, they don't want you to get even. They don't want you to spend your time trying to find someone who killed them or whatever they've done to your loved one. They don't want that. We want it. Our human flesh wants it. You don't think I want things to happen to... Oh, yeah. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for murder. It's just, I'm here to help you. I'm here to hold your hand through these videos. You are so much more valuable than you know. And your loved ones want you to know that. They're waiting for you. They will wait for all of eternity until you pass. They'll come and get you most times. Are you afraid of death? Your loved ones will come for you. But we'll talk about that in another video. So I'm sorry it gets a little heavy, but it's so, so important. That's my message. That is the whole premise of my existence. My gift is to give it to you. And I'm sorry for your losses, you guys. I am sorry for your losses. They're painful. I hate it. And when I do a reading with you, this is how I get. I cry almost every reading because I feel your pain, and I'm feeling your pain right now. I am. It's hard to be here. It's hard to be on the earth. It is. It just is. You could do everything right, but you're still going to encounter this pain. And it doesn't seem fair, does it? But that's part of our existence. We can't avoid life. Okay, so hold on one. Oh, I can't access that. I don't think oh gosh, someone wrote me okay, hold on. Let me go into my YouTube account. Because someone wrote a question and I really want to answer it. So I apologize. Give me a moment. I have it on my phone, but I'm filming with my phone, so I can't get in there at the moment. Okay, switch account. Da, da, da. Let me find my comments. Let me see if I can find that comment real quick. Oh, my back. Okay. So Chastity Young, I think I answered your question, Chastity, about the orb so clearly and why am I scared? Because I'm just dramatic. I'm just being goofy. I think I talked about this in the beginning of this video. Oh, okay. You guys are talking about Christ Church in Moscow, Idaho. I didn't know that. I saw a couple people mention Christ Church, but isn't that a place in New Zealand? I'm like, what does New Zealand have to do with the case? I'm confused. Okay. Got it. Okay, Melissa K. Thank you. I'm a little slow sometimes, you guys. Sometimes you just got to spell things out for me. I'm trying to find, I want to make sure I answer the question someone wrote. Callie, thank you for your comment, for being your favorite YouTuber. Yay! That makes me feel so good. You have no idea. Let me just take a minute and answer a couple questions here, because this is important. The spirit is definitely here. Lori Saccone says, I am also wondering, when souls haven't accepted their death and won't cross over to the other side, they perhaps are jealous of the living, and that's when they haunt places, etc. A poltergeist may occur. I may be off on this, but oh gosh, my eyes are blurry. These things are fascinating. Love your show. Thanks, Lori. Excuse me. So, this is a good one. This is a really, really deep question. Lots of options here. You can go this way and then take this path, and then from this path go this way, as far as questions and answers to her question and her statement. So if a spirit doesn't accept their passing, they can't accept that they have died. I honestly don't see this very often, surprisingly. You would think that I would see it a lot in murder cases or sudden death cases. I don't see it very often. I have had a case of it when a long time ago, this boy died and he was confused. So he didn't know, and he was haunting my house. He died like near my house, and he didn't know. So he felt like I was a safe place to come to. I wasn't out of the closet. No one knew I was a psychic medium at that point. But I called the Catholic Church and asked for help, because I didn't know, I didn't want to give him wrong information, even though I kind of knew what I should do. Anyway, this little boy hung out in my house for a couple of days, and I just lit a candle and I just said, sweetheart, it's okay. Daddy went that way too, and your sister, it's okay. Mommy survived, the crash. So anyway, I just ended up talking to him, and then he crossed over within just a matter of minutes, if not seconds. You don't see that very often. I don't see it very often. I don't see jealousy on the other side. I don't think I've ever seen jealousy on the other side whatsoever. And we'll talk about hell, and we'll talk about the actual events of the actual death of a person leaving the body and going out. We'll talk about that a lot. Now, Okay, so hauntings, and we'll talk more about this. We'll do like an hour of each of these things coming up, but I just wanted to answer Lori. Lori, didn't we do a reading, Lori? Hauntings can be for many, many different reasons. They could be not happy you live in their house. And they're like, oh no, this is my house. I built it in 1850 or whatever. Why don't I save this? Because this is going to be, it's a big subject. So let's talk about this in an upcoming video. Because there's a lot to talk about with poltergeist, and let's talk about how spirits feel when they pass, what emotions can they have, and hell, because I think you will be very surprised at my experiences with people who have shown me that they are or were in hell, and what it's like and what it's not like. It's surprising to me. So I'm going to leave it here for now, you guys. Thank you. I'm so happy Spirit was letting me do this video today. Before we go, please help me get the numbers to 1,000 on this channel. For God's sake, we need to do some live shows. Live shows are very eventful, and we get stuff done. We get stuff done. I feel like I'm going to work because like I'm talking to you and I'm talking to Spirit. I can relay exactly right then and there what they just said in answer to your question. So let's get the subscribers up to 1,000 by hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video. That's very important, you guys, to like my videos, because then that makes them pop up on other people's suggestions lists. And then share this video, okay? You can share it on Instagram, I don't know where else, Facebook, wherever. I don't care. Spread me around. There's enough of me to go around. Okay. Thank you guys. I'll see you super soon. Take care. Ciao.